Corpbiz.
Hello and welcome to Corpbiz. My name is Shalin, and in today's video, we will understand the relevance of 5-point sustainability agenda for green entrepreneurs.
पंचामृत की सौगात देना चाहता हूं। पहला, भारत 2030 तक अपनी नॉन फोसिल एनर्जी कैपेसिटी को 500 गीगावाट तक पहुंचाएगा। दूसरा, भारत 2030 तक अपनी 50% एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी से पूरी करेगा। तीसरा, भारत अब से लेकर 2030 तक के कुल प्रोजेक्टेड कार्बन एमिशन में 1 बिलियन टन की कमी करेगा। चौथा, 2030 तक भारत अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था की कार्बन इंटेंसिटी को 45% से भी कम करेगा। और पांचवा, वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा। ये पंचामृत क्लाइमेट एक्शन में भारत का एक अभूतपूर्व योगदान होंगे।
So, India's Prime Minister's announcement of the 5 essential commitments, also known as Panchamrits, outlined a plan for a more sustainable India. These commitments will offer tremendous opportunities for all sectors that have the potential to contribute to India's green economy. This video will provide an overview of our Prime Minister's commitments at the COP26 and discuss its implications for India's renewable energy sector and the green economy, and what opportunities beholds for green entrepreneurs in the country. During the 26th Conference of Parties, India's Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi declared India's intention to achieve net zero emissions by 2070, which is the main aim of the 5-point sustainability agenda. So, what are the 5 commitments made by Mr. Modi? Let's have a look. First is India's target to attain a net zero emission state by 2070. Next, India's aim to generate 500 gigawatts of non-fossil energy by 2030. Next is India's commitment to decrease the carbon intensity of its economy to 45% by 2030. The next is India's aim to meet 50% of its energy needs from the renewable energy sources by 2030. India aims to reduce 1 billion tons of carbon emissions from the projected total emissions by 2030. India has also shown substantial progress in its commitment towards combating climate change. We are currently ranked 5th in the world for installed renewable energy capacity. India has increased its renewable energy installed capacity by 226% in the past 5 years. The previous target to install 175 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2020 has been extended due to the 5 new commitments made during the COP26. Green growth was one of the 7 top priorities of the Union budget this year, with a series of support and incentives announced in the field of development and production of greener technologies such as solar and wind power generation, green hydrogen production. These commitments made by PM hint at a future support in terms of business setup incentives such as waiver of licensing fees, prioritizing approval applications for green businesses, green business loans, etc. So, how can this opportunity be converted into businesses? Let's understand. The first and the second commitments of the Panchamrits aim to achieve 2 objectives. First, to increase the non-fossil energy capacity to 500 gigawatts by 2030 and to ensure that 50% is met through renewable energy sources. India's previous commitment was to establish renewable energy capacity of 450 gigawatts by 2030. This change demonstrates a clear intention to transition to a renewable energy in the long run and achieve a new target of 500 gigawatts of non-fossil energy through alternative means. India is ready to explore a greater role of low emission technologies and alternative fuels such as nuclear, green hydrogen, fuel cells and biofuels next to coal. The government plans to launch a Lifestyle for Environment or LIFE campaign to focus on improving sectors like fishing, agriculture, wellness, packaging and housing. These campaigns present opportunities for industries that previously struggled to establish themselves in India, such as rooftop solars for residential buildings. The third and fourth commitments made by India pertains to the country's carbon emissions. India is the third largest carbon emitter globally, but the per capita income emissions are lower than other industrialized countries. The government aims to reduce 1 billion tons of carbon emissions from the total project emissions by 2030 and decrease the carbon intensity of its economy by at least 45% until 2030. India's long-term low emission development strategies or LTS submitted to the UNFCCC in November 2022 details India's vision and plan of action for achieving its targets to become a net zero emitter by 2070. The government has outlined sector-specific action areas targeting the power industry, transport, building and urban sectors in this regard. The government intends to achieve net zero beyond its current policies and programs. India's fifth commitment is to attain the goal of net zero by 2070. This ambitious commitment will likely bring about a remarkable transformation in the country's economy. The concept of net zero will be reflected in how an existing business conduct their operation. Many companies in India have announced their intentions to become net zero and many are adopting environmentally friendly practices. Additionally, investors are also keen on transparency regarding their partners' environmental footprints and will scrutinize their current and future carbon footprints. The government is consistently improving the business environment, particularly for foreign investors, by introducing new schemes and amendments that promotes ease of doing business, including tax incentives for manufacturing entities, fast-track process for renewable projects, and expanding foreign direct investment. Some example of businesses that will have greater opportunities include co-generation of power plants based on bagasse, industries in solar power generation such as solar thermal systems, solar panel assembling and solar power inverters, solar pump controller manufacturing and their setup, production of biofuels such as biogas, bioethanol, biomass gasification, etc., manufacturing of solar cells, solar photovoltaic systems, etc. So, if we consider the continuous shift of India away from conventional fuels and technologies and the various government projects in line, it can be safely assumed that the government is taking initiatives to promote green infrastructure, increase awareness and provide incentives for investors in the renewable energy sector. Domestic businesses and green entrepreneurs can take the advantage of this opportunity. Foreign companies and investors are looking eagerly to contribute to India's sustainable development through investments. So, contact Corpbiz with your business idea and let our experts guide you and assist with all your business legal and procedural requirements. So this was all for today's video. Thank you for watching.